Some people don't really like low-level D&D. They say it's boring or at least doesn't provide an adequate challenge, either being too easy or too hard. My name is Justin, and today on Game On, we're going to take a look at my top 5 D&D trick monsters for low levels that can make that pre-level 5 part of your adventure just a little bit more fun. Number 5. Rust Monsters. These monstrosities are 1/2 CR and have an AC of 14 and 27 hit points. Not too shabby. It's probably not going to last too long even with a low level party, its initiative only being +1 and only doing an average of 5 damage. However, this monster has a trick up its sleeve. You don't want to hit it with a weapon that's a non-magical metal weapon, because the monster will give that weapon a -1 debuff to damage and up to -5 debuff damage, and then it totally destroys the weapon. Of course, with spam cantrips and ranged attacks being the norm in 5e, the Rust monster doesn't have the same bite it used to. However, it does provide a challenge that may even make veteran players stop to think about the fight rather than carelessly attack. Number 4. The Orc. Yeah, I had to put at least one classic monster on this list, and orcs are my pick. They're just a fun monster to fight in a beer and pretzels game. Just assume they're evil, and let average damage of 9 whittle down your player's HP. It's only a 1/2 CR, but with the trick ability to move its speed towards one of the PCs as a bonus action. That makes these guys a little bit more speedy than the players are ready for, and it makes it a little bit more unpredictable in the battle. They only have 16 hit points, an AC of 13, but they are formidable if you throw a couple of them at the players. They have low mental stats, so spell slingers should be pretty good, especially with saves. Throw a handful at your low level party and show them how fast the orcs can move. I bet it'll throw off some of your veteran players. Number 3. The Gnoll. Maybe it was just the Baldur's Gate 3 encounter when I was a low level that made me understand how nasty these guys can be. But these are a great pack to throw at levels 3 or 4. With an AC of 15 and 22 hit points, they don't seem that scary. Their spears only do an average of 5 damage. However, if one of these gnolls gets to your squishy spellcaster, they may induce their Rampage trick ability, which gives them free movement and a free attack as a bonus action. I pit 4 of these baddies against 5 level 2s, and took the wizard out and almost dropped the paladin. That extra attack and move speed is what gave the gnolls what they needed to almost take the paladin down. And it actually was a little bit more white knuckle than I had planned as a DM. Though their initiative is only +1, so I got lucky with my dice rolls. These 1/2 CR walking hyenas are pretty crazy in large numbers. I did use 4 against 5 level 2 players, so they were underwhelming, but they were still white knuckle and almost killed the party. So if you want to boost them up just a little bit for higher level, give them pack tactics. That'll really mess with low level players, and it might even mess with some second tier level players. Number 2, the Zombie. Okay, I know I like the horror stuff, but zombies are an odd duck in 5e. They're only a 1/4 CR and they only do an average of 4 damage. The AC of 8 and HP of 22 makes them easy to put in the ground. Or does it? The zombie has a cool trick where it can make a save against your damage and possibly keep going. Hey, as long as you don't crit or give it radiant damage, the zombie can keep going even for a few rounds after you thought you dropped it to 0. It doesn't move very fast and its mental stats are terrible, along with a negative initiative. There are good chances that you'll go before them and take them out before they go, but just watch out for their ability to keep going. Basically, they use a constitution save to keep going, and their constitution is pretty decent. So watch out when you hack off their limbs, because they might just keep going. Before we get to number 1, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and tell us your favorite low CR creature with a fun trick or trait in the comments. Number 1, the Shadow. CR 1/2 creature with 16 HP and an AC of 12 doesn't seem that scary. However, it has resistance and immunities to almost everything except Radiant. Not only that, but if you're not in full bright light, it may have advantage on you as it attacks from the shadows where you may not be able to see it. The big trick about the Shadow is its strength drain. The Shadow will do an average of 9 necrotic damage to you, but also does 1d4 points of strength damage, and if they drop you to 0 strength, you die. 2 solid hits on a PC with strength as their dump stat, and they can be dead, even if their hit points aren't at 0. That's enough to perk jaded players' ears up at low levels, as no one has a restoration spell by then. Of course, radiant damage is like poison to these things, and fighting them in a well-lit room is a great way to survive the encounter. Just don't go into a crypt with these things with low strength-based characters. So what do you think? Do you like these trick monsters to throw at low-level parties? Do you have one that you prefer I didn't say? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Game on.